Hey mate, I know you've got flat feet and I'm going to show you one exercise that's going to change all of that. All you need is a pen and a penny. Let's get into it. G'day, my name is Adam from Adam Movement Therapy and I help you return to the gym and stay there. So we're talking about flat feet. So you may have been told by a podiatrist, chiropractor, physio, or your friend next door that your feet are flat and you're always going to have flat feet, okay? We're now seeing that it is not true the majority of cases, right? So we do actually have muscles under our feet that form the arch. So that means if we've got muscles under there, we can make them stronger and we can improve the posture of your feet, which may help you out with some other ailments you may or may not have. The thing is with flat feet is there is a lot to do with how we stand or how we walk or what our default posture is. So for instance, if we do default to a posture that's sitting out like this, we're more than likely going to sag inwards than if we were having straighter feet. So sometimes just even a fix of just changing your toes to be straighter, you're going to get higher arches anyway. But today we're going to show you how to actively change your arch and get higher arches so that you can, when you're standing and when you're walking around, or you may be doing squats in the gym, which I highly recommend you do barefoot, you can actually start to think about how you can increase that arch and basically get stronger feet to help you build a stronger body. Because the stronger you are, the more resilient you are, the less pain you're going to feel. Now let's get into that one exercise. This was an exercise I found on YouTube maybe 10, 15 years ago when I myself had poor posture or was told I had poor posture with my feet. It was called the penny exercise. In Australia, we don't call them pennies. I've just got a 20-cent piece, as you can see here, all right? And just any normal pen. But this is a great one because you don't need any equipment on there, and it's really just gonna teach you what it feels like to have higher arches, okay? Let's get into it. So the way this works, you're going to put your pen under the arches of your foot, just under there, and then you're gonna put this coin, just under where the joint starts of your foot. And what this is actually teaching you is something called tripod foot, okay? So tripod foot is pressing down here, and into the heel, into the floor, okay? You got 3 points of contact, that's why it's called tripod foot. So having the pen in place and the coin is going to give you some external feedback to be able to understand what that tripod feels like and to get really good at it. So the first part, you just pop the coin just where your toe joint starts there, and then you pop the pen just under there like that. And what this does, right, is straight away, I don't want to touch that pen, okay? So you might be starting off with an arch like this, right? But if we start to kind of put something under there and we try to avoid it, we can pop that pen closer and closer to the foot so that you don't want to touch. And you're actually getting feedback if you start to lose the arch, you start touching the pen and you're like, oh crap, I've got to lift it. And then what this coin does is actually gives you feedback to push into the floor to create that arch from here to here, okay? So the important thing is you're going to focus on raising that arch by avoiding the pen and pushing this big toe into the floor. What we want to avoid is doing something like this, where we're lifting up the floor, because then you're losing contact with that coin. We want to be pushing that coin into the floor and avoiding that pen, creating this nice arch here. If I just sag or be very passive in there, you can see that I'm going to be touching the pen, it's going to lift up, and I'm going to feel that straight away. So what we can do is we get into that position there and we focus on pressing down into the coin and literally going from flat to not flat, flat to not flat. So you can do this for a couple reps. You know, I would try doing this from anywhere from, 3 sets of 5 to 10, depending where you're starting, and you may get massive cramps in your foot when doing this. So what we do is we just drop the foot into the pen and then we push that big toe in there and then we drop. And we just do those reps just like that. And man, you will really feel this working your foot. I can already feel this working right now. And I remember when I did this years ago, how hard this was. So don't worry if you can't get it or it takes a few goes. Practice makes perfect, that's for sure. And that's how I got to where I am today. So what you'll do is you'll do 3 sets of 5 to 10 with those reps there, just to get the feel of not touching the pen and pushing that big toe into the floor. If you get really good at that, the next step is trying to actually balance, kind of standing up on the one foot while trying to avoid that pen. So what you do is we'll go from it. So what you do is you'd go here like this, popping that pen under there. And what I'm actually doing now is I'm lifting that foot, right? And I'm actually trying to avoid that pen. It's okay if you touch it a little bit, but it's just really just to give you feedback on whether or not your arches are falling, okay? So I can feel like when I lean to one side, I'm touching that pen, you can even see it move, and then I'm really focusing on trying not to, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm just balancing and really getting a good burn in that arch there, in that plantar fascia there. And I'm really just focusing on there. Once you get really good at that, the next step is actually to move that foot around and try different angles. And I'm moving my hands around like this and really challenging how good you are at keeping that arch. So it'll look something like basically just a bit of a balancing act, right? And you're just getting feedback from that coin and that pen. So you can have one foot going over the top there or going this way and just really kind of challenge yourself forwards or even backwards like this and just try for say 30 to 60 seconds, 3 sets of 30 to 60 seconds, and I guarantee that you'll start getting more arches and a bigger arch, right? If that's a little bit too hard for you, you can just try the same thing but with a stick. So holding onto that stick and trying to balance and really just trying to challenge yourself on all those different angles, okay? So 3 sets of 30 to 60 seconds, and I guarantee you'll have higher arches after doing this. So there you go, that is the penny pen exercise. So now you know it. Look, this is going to, if you do this multiple times per week, you are going to get higher arches, I can guarantee it. So it's going to be real hard at first, but over time you're going to get better and better. And then when you're just walking around or just standing up around the place, like whether you're at work, you know, just waiting in line for a coffee, you can start to think about where the penny and pen, right? Pushing that big toe onto the floor and then just raising that arch, okay? Also a good way to think about is, think about rather than spinning your feet out, having your second toe pointed forward, okay? That'll ensure that when you're pointing that second toe forward, you won't sag into fallen arches, okay? If you really like this video, check a video up here. YouTube thinks that you might like it. Give it a click and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. And my name's Adam and I help you return to the gym and stay there.